Hi there. So there's a lot of videos on YouTube that are basically beginner bass lessons, everything, teaching you how to play the bass guitar. Um, I mean they're good and all, but I feel like there's some things they don't touch on first off, which you should know before you actually purchase a bass guitar. So I just want to talk about it briefly. Um, First question is, should you play the bass guitar? Um, Depends on the type of person you are. Simply put, I mean, this isn't true, necessarily always true, but for a lot of music these days, um, the bass guitar serves as basically background noise. You know, um, I watch concerts on YouTube and everything, and there'll be times where the cameraman won't even show the bass guitarist. And and I remember I was watching this cartoon called Regular Show once, and the two characters, Mordecai and Rigby, they meet their favorite band, and they are able to say the names of each of the band members except the bass guitarist. And why is that? Honestly, because it's a lot of bands. There's a lot of bad music out there that's really popular, and so the bass um, doesn't get as much recognition. I mean, a good band will know how to properly implement the bass guitar into their music. Case in point, my favorite band, Black Party. Um, uh, but I mean, if you want to be, have the solos. I mean, there's bass guitar solos, but not as often as guitar solos. If you want to be if you want to get recognition, you go for the guitar or even the drums. Um, so bass guitars, they get the back seat. They do the job no one else wants to do, type of thing. That's the vibe I always got. Again, it's not always the case, but I mean, for a beginner, that's the vibe you're gonna get. Only until you're way advanced will you be able to say that. Another question is, what is your reasonings? Like, another thing is, what is your reasoning for playing the bass guitar? I mean, um, a lot of people. The thing is with these videos on YouTube, like learning how to play, a lot of them start going into music theory, and they start going into how to read music and everything. For me, the reason I wanted to learn how to play bass was because my social life basically consisted of playing soccer. So during the winter time, you can't really play soccer, so I had nothing to do. So I picked up the bass guitar. I really have no interest in ever learning how to read music, or making music of my own. I just want to basically um, play songs that I like. The furthest I've ever gone in my bass guitar playing was that I briefly tried to join a Sublime cover band, and even then you don't need to read music, you just read the tabs. So honestly, there was really these videos are good and all, but I feel like they can really turn off a lot of people. I know I watched a few when I first started out, and I was kind of like, whatever. I kind of just did my own thing. Um, but the only reason the only video I actually really appreciated was how to like place your fingers, how to pluck your fingers. And I mean, everyone has their own different styles, but I would be watching videos, and then some people would put their fingers like really underneath. I don't know if you can see, but really underneath, and play it like that. Whereas, I've been playing for a little bit now, so now I won't put it that far back. I'll just like put it there, very, very like, just feels like it's just sliding off the finger versus like literally plucking it, type of thing. Um, so honestly, those videos, I mean, use them as a reference point, but don't. I would say not to follow them, because you could really, as if you get more serious, you want to get more serious later on, then go ahead, be my guest. But for an introduction, no, you're gonna get really turned off by it. Another thing with these introduction videos is a lot of them don't get into playing music, don't get into playing songs, and I feel like that turns off a lot of people. So, I mean, a lot of people, you know how it is these days, people just want to get into it, and that's kind of what I did too. So, there's a lot of easy songs to start off with that, you know, that just hit like the A string. All you play is the A string. Two good songs that immediately come to mind would be Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes, which goes like, I haven't played it in a while. How's it go? Easy, you know? Another one is a Block Party song called I Still Remember. And that one's actually pretty good, because that one will help you learn how to count notes, because a lot of it just goes by eights. But those are very good songs to get into, so you could be like, I have songs to play, you know, so you're not put down, you're not put off by like, you're practicing all these things, all these different strings, you know, but you're not actually playing a song, which turns off a lot of people, trust me. Another thing, what did I want to get at? Oh, hand placement. Obviously I watched the video on plucking. I'm talking about like these fingers on the fretboard. A lot of these videos will tell you to not play with your index finger, to not completely rely on it. So, you know, for the for Seven Nation Army, they would be like, that's how you would. I guarantee if you're first starting out, you're gonna play like that. But like these videos will be like, no, play it like this, or well, just this bit, you know. And they view it as a bad habit. I don't see it as a bad habit. I just see it more as a growing pain, something that you'll just eventually grow out of. Because honestly, it's really hard. Like when I first started, like it just seemed easier for me to just go to just move my index finger. And you know, after you get more used to it, you'll be like, oh, you know, why should I move my index finger when I could just use my pinky, you know? But again, that's something you'll eventually grow into. So for now, just play with your pinky, or just play with your index finger. Just use that. What else? Oh, purchasing a bass guitar. So this is I don't know if you can see it. Well, everyone knows what this is. It's precision bass. P bass. Now, when you're going to buy a guitar, Guitar Hero or wherever, don't listen to what they tell you. Okay? These people, they just want money out of you. I watch these videos, even some of these videos on YouTube, they're like, oh, a good bass guitar is going to cost you $500. No. This bass guitar, I bought this bass guitar used off of Craigslist. This guy had it sitting in his closet for 8 years. I got this bass guitar, I got the amp, and I got a carrying case for $125. I think it was. It was either that or $150. All right, and then, but you have people telling you to spend $500. No. Okay, because honestly, you don't. First off, you don't know if you're gonna actually stick with this, because, I mean, it is. At the end of the day, it is a lot of work to learn how to play the bass. But these guitars, I mean, they come in all different shapes and sizes. There's bass guitars that are specifically designed for blues, so you have a more like smooth sound to them. You have bass guitars that the placement, the string placements are closer, so you could play it more like a guitar with a pick. And then you just have bass guitars that are just plain horrible. But the salesmen don't really care. They just want to sell you the most expensive bass guitar that they have. So, I recommend, I mean, at the end of the day, it's your choice, but the P bass, this is an all-around generic bass. I mean, there's a lot of bands. Black Party, yet again, Gordon uses a P bass. Plenty of major bands have gotten by just fine with this bass. Okay? Now, maybe if you end up getting very serious with it, let's say you go that blues route, you're gonna want a blues specific bass guitar. But this is a generic good bass guitar, and I mean, you could use this for pretty much any type of genre. You know, I've played ska, obviously. I've played punk rock music with this, everything, and it sounded perfectly fine. What else did I want to touch? Let me see. I wrote some stuff down. Oh, the infinite debate. Should you play the bass guitar versus guitar? Well, I kind of just want to mention this because I know some people use this as a reasoning for learning to play an instrument. Learning the bass guitar is not a good idea to me, girls. Simply put, or guys, whatever gender, whatever rocks your boat. Simply because there's not a lot of things you can do with the bass guitar at a beginner level that will impress a lady or the opposite sex. Again, advanced stuff, yeah, like when you learn how to slap and everything, yeah, maybe, but it's a lot easier to impress someone with a guitar very easily than it would be a bass guitar. I know, I just had to bring it up because some people actually use it as reasoning. Because I don't know if you guys have ever gone to a concert and you start listening to see what these people say about their favorite bands, but then if you know a little bit about music, it's kind of like, no, that's definitely not the best guitars out there. In fact, if you look at the tabs, they're easy. I could play, and I don't even play the guitar, play the bass. So yeah, just get the guitar. If you're into that stuff, get an acoustic guitar. So that's really all I wanted to say about the bass guitar. It's a great instrument, and I hope more people get into it. And if you have any questions about, what type of guitar you should get or whatever, just leave a comment. Thanks.